And people wanna know when they see us dancing. Wanna know how we got those moves. People wanna bottle it up, but no can do. People wanna know how to find that feeling. Wanna know how we got that groove. They're thirsty for the juice, but I'ma tell you the truth.
Alright, so this is a music titled Family, features Justin Timberlake, Anna Kendrick, Camila Cabello, Eric Andre, and several more. This one, Family, is the title of this beautiful song, bringing the time to some 20 minutes to hit 8 o'clock. Alright, so if you're a parent, if you have children, please get closer to your radio set. And of course, if you have engaged with your children and they've told you about some of the concerns they have going to school, especially when it comes to, you know, the curriculum being used or the syllabi being used, listen, this is a conversation coming up your way this very morning from the studios of Love 99.5. Because for your information, well, there's a new curriculum that has been developed. It is ready to be rolled out in the 2024-2025 senior high school academic year. All right, that's what it is, a new curriculum. Now, this will see some subtractions and some additions being done to the current one. So which ones will be taken out? Which ones will be added to it? And what difference will it really make? So in today's edition of Love in the Morning, well, I have got the Director General, National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, Professor Edward Appiah, with me in the studios of Love 99.5 to give us more insights, more details into what this new curriculum is all about for the senior high school level. But I know that you know, your interest may not necessarily be at that level because maybe your child or your ward is not up to that level yet. You have a child who is in a basic school. You have a child who is in a primary school. Well, there are concerns about, you know, issues, for example, about some of the subjects that the young ones are being taught. I have a 6-year-old, and if she comes home with assignments, something on history, something on IT, I ask myself, is this her level? It's way above her level, yet per the curriculum, that is what she's studying. And sometimes it kills interest in the children. I've had a lot of parents complain about it. Aside from that, there are other people who have raised concerns, you know, about the lack of textbooks in their schools. I mean, we've had this time with that number that this textbook is not available, that textbook is not available in the public schools. How are these teachers supposed to able to impart knowledge, teach these young ones well enough for them to be able to write the exams, same exams with the children from the private schools? Professor Eddie Appiah, or Professor Edward Appiah, is right here. Chief, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Hey, my bro.
Oh, how?
Trying to pull this gentleman into the studio.
Oh, David. I know.
It's been like, we are here now. We're very good friends. So, my person in the back, I said,
no, David. I mean, it's about the nature of the work. But you see, that's how it is.
But how's the job? I mean, you've been in this office for how long?
I'm in my getting my third year now.
The third year now. Okay, so how has it been like for you?
Oh, it's challenging. It's nice. It's interesting. Challenging though, but it's interesting. I mean, I wake up. I walk around. I see the truck drivers. I see how taxi drivers are driving. I see the way people are talking. I say, hey, come on! I have a huge tax on me. You know, these are all curriculum matters. The way we relate to one another, the way we behave, the way we do things in the country. It's about curriculum.
It starts from the home, doesn't it? And then
of course.
The home, then it gets.
Of course. You know, curriculum is not just being in the school. Yeah. I tell people, and I use this as a classic example. If you give birth to a child, right from the day you give birth, you aspire that the child will be somebody somehow, someday. And so you start trying to make sure that the child is molded to that which you want to be. And that's curriculum. The things you teach him or her, the exercises you give or her, the way you speak to him or her, and even assessment that you do. Sometimes maybe the child has been sitting with you trying to prepare palm nut soup. One day you leave her to do it herself or himself, and then you come back, you assess. It's curriculum.
Okay, so having said that, I mean, let's talk about basic schools. Let's talk about primary schools before we even get to the senior high school, where you have this new curriculum that will be rolled out from the 2024-2025 academic year. Now, first of all, there are concerns from some teachers. Their concern is that although there's a curriculum they are supposed to work with, the syllabus is available, textbooks that would help them, the teaching material is not available. What is the challenge? How come teachers have been told that this is the curriculum, these are the syllabus we're going to use, yet the textbooks are not available.
Okay, thank you, David. This keeps coming each and every day.
Because we don't solve it.
Yeah. Okay. We've moved to we've done a major review of curriculum. Of course, every 5 years you will do a review, but at a time or a point in time, you decide to do a major review, and that is what Ghana opted of looking at what had been happening in the past few days. And so for 2028, the nation decided to have a reform, and that is how come even NaCCA was established. Now,
2028 or 2008?
2008.
You said 2028.
Oh, sorry, 2018.
It was 2018.
2018. Okay, so and in developing or moving into a major review, definitely there will be challenges in trying to develop new textbooks. And so in NaCCA, in developing the curriculum, realized that it will take some time. And David, let me tell you this. When I took over, I had to do a bit of assessment because the minister asked me to look at what have been done so far and review. Even though we have approved about 1,500 books for the primary, we also had received some books from the JHS. And trust you me, about 95% of the books that had been brought for assessment was taking us back to objective base, even though we have moved to the standard base. What it meant was that our writers, our publishers, and our authors and our people were not ready for the standard base.
Were they not aligned from the onset?
Oh yes, but you see, like I said, it takes time. And so I remember the Ghana Publishers Association, they came to me and they expressed their concern and said, look guys, let us do the right thing. It's for the benefit of our children and grandchildren. Maybe I have to develop your capacity. And so we look for funding, and we've trained publishers and authors on standard-based curriculum. And so going back to your question, we realized that we are going to have these challenges. So we developed resource packs for which every teacher can use to write course lesson outline and teach. But you see, we are coming from a situation or an area where let me use in quotes, some of our teachers think that all that they want to teach is to come from the textbook.
The book. So I know of teachers who just pick up the book, look on it, or sometimes even give the student to copy it on the blackboard.
No, I have sat in some schools. I've gone to some schools doing monitoring. Of course, some people don't know me, so when I come, I just take advantage of it and I just sit in. Teachers are writing the things in the book.
Dito.
And you see, that is how sometimes somebody, you are there, they say, go and buy this book. They say, go, because that is what the teacher is using to teach. But we realize that, this new curriculum that we are running from.
Before we go to the new curriculum, what is the essence of this resource pack?
The resource
what is it supposed to do for the teachers?
The resource pack gives all that the teacher needs to know about the subject that he's going to teach, the preparations that he has to do, the various content things that he's going to do, the learning outcomes. They are all packed in the resource pack, and we expect that the teachers will look at it, unpack it, use to develop his lesson notes and lesson plans, and then teach.
So why are they not doing that? Have you given them the right information, orientation on it?
I remember I went to some schools and I was just asking the teachers. I saw them, they were talking about it. I said, have you been given resource packs? Yes, yes, I supplied resource packs. I said, where are they? Most of them were in the house. But some of them have not even touched it for a bit.
Do they know the essence of it?
Of course.
So how come they know it? And you have heads in these schools.
Of course.
So headmasters are also what? Not concerned about what is happening?
Well, and that is a subject for GES to do. But as you said, we are in collaboration, and we think that we need to up our game in some of these things. Now, having said that, David, we NaCCA, one of our mandates is to develop and approve the teaching and learning materials. As I speak with you now, we've approved so many of these books, and we expect that the procurement, that one is with the ministry and GES. So if people say we don't have textbooks, and I'm like, well, for me, where I sit, I've made sure that we are developing and we are approving correct textbooks that are meant to be sold. But you see, let me also bring this one in, and I'm not discounting the use of textbooks, the importance of this. I'm not discounting that. But this curriculum that we are running, David, trust you me, is creative based. creative pedagogies that have been put in this curriculum, and we expect that teachers will have to be creative in that. I was at a place and somebody asked me, we looking at the new curriculum and their class sizes. It means that they are going to have challenges. And I'm saying, if you are going to teach children to become creative, I expect you, the teacher, to start being creative. How do you become creative? And of course, the new curriculum also empowers students to be co-learners, co-creators. And so the era of putting the children at one place, then you read, then they continue, then you write everything, and then they recite, it's over. The children need to be put in small groups, and then they will also learn among the peer learning.
I like that because, we have different levels of, assimilation. I could be fast to understand something that has been taught by the teacher. Another person could be slow, in assimilating what has been taught by the teacher. But if the teacher is not smart enough to be able to identify who is picking up fast and the other one is picking up slowly, then you're teaching them on the level of the one who is grasping fast.
One of the highlights and one of the greatest highlights in this new curriculum is what we refer to as differentiated learning.
Differentiated learning.
Yes.
Tell me more about it.
Okay. And when we were in school back days, we were arranged in rows, and they said this is A, this role is A, this role is B, this role is C, this A. In 2 weeks' time, they said, no, you can't be in role A, go to role D. Why? We were arranged in such a way that the teacher will focus on the strengths and abilities of the roles. So if this role A, they know that these are fast learners, and the teacher will concentrate on the fast learners in another way. He goes to role C or D, and then he does something which will help the child or bring them up to that level. And along the line, we miss this. Now we have made it intentional to have differentiated learning, where the teacher should be able to check and look at the differences of the child's assimilation, their strengths, and group them in such a way that those that are weak could be brought up. And that is the standard-based learning that we are talking about.
Back to my question. So, although it might not necessarily fall under your office, the lack of textbooks, what is being done to ensure that the public schools who are lacking them get them to be able to teach effectively?
Okay. Who are lacking them?
Yes. Who do not have the textbooks?
I think about 2 weeks ago, or even about a month back, the minister called me and said, look, Prof, I want you to check all the various schools and the numbers, the students' numbers, the data. Get it? Of course, that is something a little bit outside my school. But since I'm into assessments and trying to do national standards, he felt that I will be able to get the data. Well, sometimes it's a little bit absurd to. Let me bring this one in. I visited a school in Accra. And then I asked the head, which of the books do you have? They mentioned all the books. Then I went to the classroom. Then I realized that two people were using one textbook. And I asked the teacher, I'm told that you have all the books. I know the number. Why are the children, two people using one textbook? Then he says, oh, half is there. We've kept them. So that when this one gets spoiled. And sometimes we get a little bit worried and disturbed.
Prof, in as much as I appreciate that, which of course is wrong, for the school that do not have the textbooks, the requisite textbooks, what has been done to furnish them with the books?
And that is what I'm coming to. And you see, now we've gotten the numbers, and I'm giving the numbers back to the ministry or the minister. He thinks that something went wrong in the distribution, and so he's augmenting those ones. As I
say, even for the numbers, do you know the numbers? Can you share the numbers with us?
For the various class numbers.
You have the numbers. You're going to furnish the minister with it, aren't you?
Oh yes, we've compiled them. So
what's the number?
For the maybe P1, P2,
whatever
P3.
you furnish the minister with, what is it?
Oh please, I can't do that. I can't do that.
You would. Fine. For what of time, let me quickly move on to this other.
I can even show you the table, but
I think I was going to have a rough idea, so we can appreciate the situation on the ground as to how many schools there are, how many students there are who do not have the textbooks.
At least I can give you a class which is about 5. The numbers that don't have. No. I'm compiling the data for school children in the various classrooms. Okay. So as to whether the numbers all of them have or not, they will have to compare with their procurement.
What about the fact that some parents, and this is for parents, and parents, listen, you ought to speak out, all right? Speak out. If you have concerns, let him address it for you. If you're a teacher, speak out. Let him also address the issues for you. When it comes to the basic level, there are some subjects that parents are concerned about. Concern being that it looks as if it's above the level of the children. I don't know whether that's come to your attention.
Okay.
I have such a concern. I have such a big concern. Because some of the things that my 6-year-old is studying, I ask myself.
Your 6-year-old?
Yeah.
Is he coming from a private school or public school?
My 6-year-old from a private school.
Private school, yes. Well, that's it. Because you see,
like so, and all these NaCCA doesn't play a role in that.
All these concerns, I hear so many parents asking, me banu I did your buy
festivals.
And when you check, they are all coming from private schools. Okay, NaCCA, we are responsible for developing curriculum standards and assessment standards, and we do so looking at the depth of and scope of the curriculum and look at the level of the child and give a level which fits for the child. It is not going to happen where NaCCA is going to develop a curriculum whose content for maybe primary 6 be given to primary 3. It could never happen. I know that maybe some of the private schools, because of these days competition, they may want to do certain things to show that, yes, to demonstrate that they are on top and their children are good. So yes, they may probably want to go a little higher. But trust you me, the curriculum that we've developed is standard for the child at every level, and we will never do that. Somebody showed me an assignment that was homework that was given to a child, and I look at the homework and then I laughed, and I was asking, which teacher gave you this? And then he mentioned this. I mentioned the school. I said, well, I know, no wonder. It is some of these that the ministry have empowered NaCCA, National Schools and Inspections Authority. Of course, we work with them. As I speak with you now, we are even training some of their curriculum guys so that when they get to the schools, they will be able to monitor some of these things and know when is that going to take place? Oh, they have started. Because if
it's going to kill the interest of learning in the children.
They have started. In fact, this year they did monitoring and compliance. Now they are moving to the second level of monitoring, and that is in school, in class activities, and that is where all these things will come. They will check the homework assignments that are given by teachers to the pupils, and then they will look at the content of the lesson notes, and they will give their comment as to whether they meet the requirements or not. Okay. So NaCCA will be doing that.
Well, we're live on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook on Live in the Morning. Like our page and share for us as well. We're talking to the Director General for NaCCA, and if you have any questions, he would address it for you. I try to begin the conversation to look at some of the concerns some schools have, because some teachers in some public schools are very concerned about lack of some textbooks. Again, we've touched on the subjects that some of the young ones are being taught, that some parents think that is above the level of the students. Some of them carry so many books. You ask yourself, they have no conclusion in school or no? The bags that is loaded with books. Listen, I cannot say it all, but you are parents, you are teachers. What are your concerns? Now let's jump into our main conversation for today, which of course has to do with the new curriculum that is being introduced for the senior high school level for the 2024-2025 academic year. What is the idea behind this? What has necessitated this?
Okay, 2018, we started the standard base for the KG to the upper primary, and then we added the JHS because we want to make sure that we change the curriculum. And of course, curriculum changes normally happened looking at the relevance to contemporary society, alignment with national goals, cultural and social changes, and even the 21st century world activities, continuous improvement. All these things bring in or put together require change in curriculum. And so the nation decided that we want to look at contemporary times and all these things and move into a new era. And that is where the standard base started. And like I said, we've done for the primary, we've done for the JHS. It is left for us to complete the senior so that we have a new curriculum in place. And that is what in the last 2 years we started developing, and this is where we have reached. As I speak with you now, we are doing about 31 schools are trialing them. We are training them to start trialing them, and then hopefully 2024, 2025 we will roll out. And so the senior high school curriculum is the last link to the standard-based curriculum that the nation wants to go.
How broadly would you say you've consulted? Because you don't do this in isolation. There are people you work with.
Yeah.
Would you say that you've consulted broadly enough, widely enough, such that everybody's aligned and they know what is coming?
Okay, David. Before we started the consultation. We met with Association of Ghanaian Industries. We met with Vice Chancellors Ghana, Vice Chancellors Technical Universities. We met with the NAGRAT, the NAT, Charles, and even students, and we got their input. CSOs and all these stakeholders gave us some inputs. Then, after the first the initial draft, we went back to them with this stakeholder. Even we included the National House of Chiefs. We went back to even some of the schools. We zoned the country into 3 zones: the northern zone, the middle zone, and then the southern zone. Now, for each zone, we picked category A school, category B, category C school. We gave the curriculum to the teachers in those various schools to teach them and give us their reports. And after that, we also engaged the children that were taught, and also we gave them a report. Of course, we were happy to receive their feedback. We used some of their feedback to augment what we have done. And David, trust me, most of the teachers, the schools that were used to do this trialing, fantastic. Their comments were fantastic. In fact, some of the students were saying that if this curriculum was there, why did we wait for them to be exiting before we are bringing this one?
What do they mean by that?
Because they found this one good, very accommodating, and it doesn't give students the pressure. Now, let me give you some of the key things that we've captured in this new curriculum. Now, the senior high school curriculum that we are going to run, originally we were doing 63 subjects. Now, we've scaled it down to 31.
So from Form 1 to Form 3, by the time you are done, you'd have done 63 subjects.
Yes. But these were the subjects that
were. And you scaled it down to 31.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We've introduced for the first time. David, there are some schools doing Intako. There are some students who come to school within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they are finished school. They have graduated.
I don't know what you mean, but I remember when I was in OKS, we had people who come and play football for us.
Okay, but after that,
you don't see them anymore.
They've graduated.
Oh, okay, so there are 2, 3 weeks. It happens in other sporting schools. It happens there as well. I mean, you see them when it's the middle season, football season, they'll come and play. When it's athletics, they'll come and run. And then
now, for the first time, we've introduced physical education and health as examinable subjects.
Oh, okay.
Now, we used to have PE, which was not examinable, but this time it is examinable. But student can take it from year 1 and then exit and go to the university and continue. You can add chemistry, you can add whatever you want to biology to it.
Somebody who comes to study PE, can add chemistry to his or her subject,
of course,
and go to the university to study. Now, of course, I'm asking this, and I'm happy that you said of course, because some years ago, if you're doing general arts, that's the line you would continue till you're done. Right. Meanwhile, elsewhere, somebody might have done some general arts of a sort or arts of a sort, but could veer off and go do some other program that enable him or her to do engineering or even medicine.
In this new curriculum, we are not looking at programs. We are looking at subjects.
In this curriculum?
Yes.
You're not looking at programs?
We are looking at subjects. What it means is that the child or the student will decide, like you're saying, we are not even doing we are not doing elective maths and core maths.
Okay.
If you we have additional mathematics, and then we have what we refer to as a core maths or modern maths. If you decide to do additional mathematics, that is all. It means you want to do the engineering and other things. You choose additional mathematics. But if you want to go into the humanities and other things, you do the modern maths. You don't combine. You don't do integrated science and do physics, chemistry, biology. If you decide to do physics, chemistry, biology, you don't do integrated science. This time we have general science, for which the humanities child would decide that, well, I can do general science, so he chooses general science, and that is good to go. In this curriculum, if you are doing home economics, you now have the luxury, because now we've put the home economics into one subject, but the others are in various strands. So you can have the strand of management in living, a strand of art and whatever. Then you choose home economics, you have the luxury of adding chemistry, biology. So if you want to go and do your nursing, or you want to go and do dietetics, you can combine. You want to do biological sciences, where it will require that you do maybe chemistry, biology, and your home economics. You do it. David, you know that, like I said, initially, before we started, we engaged the stakeholders. Do you know that you need 2 subjects to add to your core to do a program in the university? So if you require 2, the others are just top-ups. We now have freed the system, and the senior high school child can pick about 4 or 5 subjects, and he can combine them, and by the time he's leaving, at least he has about 3 options of programs that he can do. That he can do. So we've made it in such a way that the school system will be flexible for the child, and the child, sometimes, for example, those who were doing agric, they were doing agri science, animal husbandry, horticulture, and for KNUST, for example, they take all to be agric. And so if the child does not get a good grade, it means that his agric line is cut. But there are people who don't even do agric in the senior high school, yet they manage to get admission, so long as they're able to satisfy biology and chemistry and other stuff. So we've made it in such a way that even if you want to take agric science, which is 1, you now have the luxury of doing other subjects. You may want to do general science, agri science, economics, geography, additional mathematics, which will allow you to do your land economy or whatever that you want to do.
I'll come to you. You indulge me. I can see a lot of diversification in there. It gives a lot of flexibility for students as well.
Exactly.
But in all this, how the assessment be done?
Okay.
Because here's a situation where, fine, you tackle that bit for me. How the assessment be done? Is it going to be done at the end of the whole program, or it's going to be done in bits? Because here you are an art student, but you're trying to do some chemistry and some other programs in there as well. Right.
Of course, your subject the choice of your subject should be determined by what you intend doing when you go into the university or in future. Now the assessment, now we've gotten a new assessment framework. NaCCA developed a new assessment framework, and our focus is now on assessment as learning, assessment for learning, and assessment of learning. Now we are moving away from the summative sort of. Of course, we are not saying summative is not good, because at every level you have the luxury of doing a little bit of summative. But our focus is on formative assessment, where the child we are even adding on the transcript system. So every subject that you engage in, it is captured on your transcript, and when you go out, it can be referred to as part of the subject that you have done, and it can be used to help you in choosing your program, even if it is outside the country. Now, the child first year have the luxury of doing any subject that you want to. Of course, you also have to look at where you want to go. So you can pick about 10 subjects, but you exit with a minimum of 7 and a maximum of 9.
Oh, okay.
So you can do about 11 if you're a good student or you are gifted and talented. And of course, the curriculum recognizing gifted and talented. At the same time, we also have 2 intervention programs for intervention maths and intervention English, which allows a child who is weak in English to be rolled on to that subject, and then he better himself or herself, and then he moves on. That is what the new curriculum is going to be. It's not, you don't wait until the end and then we assess everything. No, as we move on, we assess you, and then we put your credit hours there, and then we use it when you finished.
Leo, before I ask my next question, you say you have a question, please.
Yes. It looks like you've answered my question a little bit, but I want more clarification. And mine has to do with, like, throughout from the primary up to the secondary school level, on choosing subjects and what the strengths are. What is how do you assess students who are say good in math, who are very bad in mathematics, because I know some students whose brain are just not mathematically inclined.
Okay.
I'm one of them. But then they are exceptionally good in other areas. But when it gets to say the university level, they say if you don't pass math and this and this and that,
you don't get maths or science, you don't enter the
university. And that is what we have designed. 2 levels of mathematics, the additional mathematics and then the modern mathematics. It doesn't mean that if you do the modern mathematics you are not good in maths, but it means that you have been able to acquire the minimum what will require for you to do a higher degree program. And so it is not about now we need a core elective maths. No. If I am going to, and KNUS at a point was even using social studies to replace integrated science if you are going to do the humanities. And we think that if the child wants to go into an area where you don't require more additional mathematics, you don't push the child to do additional mathematics. If you want to do engineering, maybe architecture, you need additional mathematics. So you can be a visual art student, or you decide to do art and design. And let me also say that this time we have developed art and design studio and art and design foundation for the person who enters the secondary school. Everybody will have to do art and design foundation, because one, we think that it boosts your creativity. It helps if you want to do engineering. It helps in your engineering drawings and other things. If even you are going to do medicine, it helps you even your anatomy and all those things. So that art and design foundation is captured for everybody. You do it first year. If you want to do it second year, you can add on, but you may decide to drop it, and then it is captured on your transcript. And so this have been taken care of with these maths. You can't say that, oh, you have to do additional mathematics even though I'm going to do
have to say that there's no more elective maths or something.
No. There's additional mathematics, and then there is modern maths. Now additional mathematics is for those who want to go and do the engineering and other science related.
With these changes that has been made, wouldn't it affect, when somebody missed something, from what previously was being, thought in a way?
No. Okay. We've moved to a new era. So what are you missing? No.
Not missing anything at all.
No, we are not missing anything. You see, we have done an evaluation of the elective maths and all those maths, and we've compared. Let me tell you, when we did this, we subjected the curriculum to a international consortium, and the reports that we had, so fantastic.
So can I say, for example, that WAEC is aligned on this as well?
And we are doing all this with WAEC. We have WAEC assessing. It is when we are done, then WAEC would do what we have done.
Okay. 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. These are our numbers. You can call us and you can ask questions. Maybe you have a child who is in KG or the basic school or the primary school, a child who is about to enter the senior high school. You've heard about this new curriculum that is going to be rolled out for the 2024-2025 academic year. What do you make of it? 63 subjects, and then now we are going to 31.
Of course, we have developed 7 new for the STEM schools.
Okay.
Now, David, let me say that apart from
before we talk about the STEM schools, Ghana ID, maybe some of our credit better. So let me go to the phone lines and then get with Kofi, Elisa, and Ken. Kofi, I'll start with you. Hi, Kofi. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Yes, Kofi Bedu, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me now, Dave? Hi, Dave. Can you hear me?
Yes, Kofi, I can hear you.
Good. Dave, we have my concern is about the textbooks. We have so many textbooks in in our education system. We have, let's take science for instance. Science, we have maybe you may have, I don't want to mention names. You may have Kofi Bedu series, David Appiah series, AA series, and if you look through all these series, and they are all talking about science, and you could see that they are talking about different things. And you are telling me that the children have to go and sit and write an exam on all these series. The series that are talking about different things. You see, when you told you when you said to him that your ward brought a certain homework and order, he asked you, is it from the private? Why should we have a private textbook and then the public textbook? Meanwhile, they are all going to sit and write the same exam. This should be the thing of the past. They have to look into it. The government, the public, the textbook that's supposed to come from the approved, that's supposed to come from the government, is why they have to set the exam for the children to write.
Kofi, I hear you. Thanks very much for joining us, Kofi, for with your question. I like the way he put it. The series, the various series that are available. Yeah. Elisa, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bill.
Let's say, boss.
Yes, my concern is with the subject combinations. You see, I am a teacher by profession in a senior high school in Ghana here. Now, what actually deters people from going to the universities, as in what prevents some of our students from going, it's not basically the hard maths or the elective. It is the core maths. Because with the core maths, every student is writing. And the current structure we have, if someone is, let's say, doing general arts, the person can choose to do the e-maths or the hard maths. Those that don't want to do it will just do the core maths. But still, I see that with the current renovation and stuff that they are bringing, there's still going to be that core mass that prevents about 60% of students making it to the university. So I don't actually see the difference in the old and the new. Because my visual students, for instance, they are very, very good. They will score A's in all their electives. But you come to general science and then core mass, and then they are getting E and then F. So at the end of the day, the child is gifted, but the education is shut at that time.
And that's been the challenge all this. But I'm happy that you raised it, Elisa, and he's going to give you a response. 03220-8359-6, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Welcome, Ken. Let's say you, boss.
David, so these people, this addition and subtraction that they are doing, which they have no solution to textbooks issues. Are they still blind to the fact that they are failing Ghana education? Why are you people disturbing innocent people who still think education is still the key to success in Ghana? Let me put it that way. You design a curriculum which suits people in urban areas, forgetting about those in the village and then typical village. You see, I just don't understand Ghana education. Let me put it that way. You see, there is this particular headmaster sitting here, and then he's very, very annoyed with this issue that the man is saying over there. You see, you don't accept that what people are doing is failing our education. You see, they speak what is whispered to your ears. Why are you people disturbing innocent people?
Okay, can I?
So no, you'd answer all the questions. I mean, it's not only his question. You'd answer all the questions.
I want to answer the first three.
Don't worry, we'll pick the last. We'll pick some more. Don't worry, we'll talk about them, because if you think you've done broad consultation, then right. Ken's concern is quite worrying. Ima, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Ima, let's say you, sir.
Yes, my emphasis is on children with special needs. Okay, I want to know how does the curriculum factor them, in the sense that I have a kid who, in terms of mindset and everything is okay, but she has a physical disability in terms of her writing is relatively very slow, and her speech as well. So in terms of the examining process, does this curricular factor fetch children, and how does this work out?
All right, so thank you very much, Iman. There, we're going to halt now on the phone lines and answer the questions, the first 4 or 5 that have come through, and then we'll come back onto the phone lines. So if you have a question, don't worry, we'll come back to the phone lines and get your question and then get your answers. So let's start, Chief.
Thank you, David.
Textbooks.
Okay, let me start. The many textbooks.
Yeah.
We, NaCCA, we are responsible for approving textbooks. And anytime anybody wants to buy a textbook, you should check whether the book is an approved textbook.
How do you know that?
An approved textbook will have NaCCA approved. And if you are in doubt, just go to our website and check the publisher and check the details. Now, from September coming, we've developed a QR code. The
one that just gone back.
Yes. We had developed a QR code for all books that we have approved, assessed and approved.
Okay.
And if you take the book, look for the QR code. You can even find it on the ISBN side. Now, once you scan, it will take you onto our website, and you'll be able to identify whether the book is an approved. Okay. Please, let's get it clear. There are people who are selling books, and they've indicated based upon NaCCA approved curriculum. If the textbook or the book is indicating approved curriculum, it doesn't mean it's an approved book.
Okay.
And I see so many, they say based on GES approved.
Can you do something about it on the market?
Okay, right. What NaCCA have done, and very soon the LI will be passed. For the public schools, you can't have them in. But for the private schools, because it's a private, but you may decide to go for any other book, fine. And interestingly, most of them also don't know an approved textbook. I've gone around in some schools. We are trying to make sure that we educate them. And you are there, then they say, "Oh, Chief, look at this book. They brought it. Look at it. Is it approved?" And about 90% of it.
So what is the LI supposed to do?
The LI is supposed to punish. Even now, what we have done, as I speak to you, there are about 5 publishers that we have reported to the police, and the police are dealing with them because they put our logo there, and then they said that we have approved, and it's not.
The core mass that is deterring people from.
I don't think that this is anything. What we have done, and we realize that the difficulty, and that is why we have given 2 different levels. Now, you can't say you don't have to. We can't say don't go to school without knowing maths. You need to, but there's a minimum that you require, and that is what we have made provision for. But beyond that, you need maths, additional mathematics to do other courses, other programs, and that is what we have also made it available. So, I heard the listener saying that my visual arts, now we don't even have a program for visual art. We have art and design, and trust me, there are people who are doing art and design. They are very good in art and design, but they can do additional mathematics and go and do engineering and do architecture and do whatever they want to do. They can.
It was for the sciences.
It can be anything.
I'm saying before it was for the sciences.
Yes, before it was for the sciences.
Engineering, architecture, and all that. The sciences were good. So once
it was for the sciences.
You can read like arts in quotes.
Yes, you do additional mathematics, and you can do your art and design.
You mentioned when I asked that question as to whether you've consulted widely and broadly.
Yes,
you said you have, but Ken says he has a headmaster with him. And the headmaster is angry.
No, the headmaster is angry. If he's angry, you see, I can't. Yes, I'm saying if I call Charles, I call Nagrat. These are the people who speak for you. Look, let me tell you, I brought about 31 headmasters for this trialing. And we took them through what we want to do. We brought them because their schools are going to start the trialing. And so the next level, they are to bring their HODs and other staff. As I speak with you now, we have some teachers already here, about 180 from the various schools.
Where is it here? What do you mean here?
They are in KNUST.
Okay.
And then we are going through the workshop. About 8 on 10 schools, their heads never even reported what they came to do.
Although they were invited.
Although they were invited.
And they never turned up.
Look.
But that affects the system. That affects
and
the plan.
If your headmaster, and I'm saying that if your headmaster is with Charles, you should have asked Charles. Or you should have asked.
But I have a concern. So if a headmaster who's been given an invitation to be a part of a workshop or an orientation fails to attend,
no, we write to GS.
So what actions will be taken?
Yeah, we write to GS and we have written to GS and said, look, these are the things that we expect, and we expect GS to take them on,
to sanction them.
Yes, the heads of departments who come and they are trained to go and train their staff. So they go, they don't even report on.
It becomes a problem with the curriculum we want to roll out. Look,
yesterday evening we had a meeting. We were trying to review what we have done and look at the way forward. These things that we are talking about came up because there are people. We try to find out your views and other things. There are people who have come for them, and that brings me to the special needs. We've taken care of special needs. We brought some people who are from. I won't mention the schools. to be part. You know what they came to do?
Tell me.
4 of them. Whilst we were engaging in activities, they were sitting outside. We went and we told them, they says, if we learn these sign things and other things, are you going to pay us? And then we said, but you are GES staff. You are being paid. You are supposed to get this training. Go and train your people. And look at the attitude. David, we think that, and that's one of the things that we need, this curriculum is trying to know. We think that our attitude and our values need to be changed as Ghanaians.
Okay.
Now, who says we are destroying education? No, we are rather making it better. And if people will get patient and read through and get the understanding, they will understand. When people make such comments,
but based on what you're rolling out, Prof, can you give us assurance that we can rub shoulders with people from other countries, other parts of the world, in the developed world?
Why not?
Because you know that the aerobics, what did I say aerobics?
The physical education.
No, not the physical education. Oh, the ones in the science, robotics, and everything that they do.
Yeah.
When it comes to theory, we're good. When it comes to practical bit, we're not that good. We cannot rub shoulders with the people out there.
Right now, the new curriculum, it's hands-on, creative pedagogies, which allows the child to work as he's moving on. I told you that the era of chew pass it's over.
03220-83596, 03220-83597, 03220-83598. Hi, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Let me say this.
Prophet, indulge me, please. I would allow you. Please.
Right.
Our numbers have been activated again on 03220-83596, 83597, 83598. Christoph, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother David, the legend Appiah. I hope you are fine, sir.
I am well, Chris.
David, good show. I want to commend you. Nana Semenchia is doing the listen, and good morning. David, I want to the man in your studio that what goes into the formation of the curriculum. But David, you see that sometimes there is no fit, there's no match between academia and industry. The things that we've learned some time ago and all that, we saw that when we were growing up and all that, it has no relation or correlation with wherever we are going or whatever job that we are going to do. And these things are still in the system. They're teaching these people a lot of things that are not important as for a language. So I want to find out, what do they look at? Because you see, when you put an African Ghanaian against European and all that, their knowledge about things are different from us.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. Your answer will be coming up your way shortly. Roger, good morning. Good morning, Roger. Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Dave, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right. So my first question: somebody asked earlier what is being done about special care with the curriculum. Now, there are. Let me be specific with it. What is being done for autistic children with respect to curricula and how are they being taken care of? Because a lot of bigger things have been done in this world and they were done by children who were autistic. How is the curricula taking care of that? Number 2, we are introducing a new curriculum and we assume it's going to be good because it's not even being put in place. What is being done with the training colleges to ensure that they are also, by the time, they are out, this is what they are going to teach. Now, those on the field are being, given some training. What is being done in the training colleges? Thank you.
I hear Roger. Thanks very much for joining us. Let's speak to Isaac. Hi, Isaac. Good morning.
Good morning, David.
Welcome, Isaac. Let's hear you, sir.
Please, I want to ask the approved books that the Honorable Speaker was talking about. There are some mistakes in the basic schools math, one of the publishers that I cannot disclose. So what are you doing about it? Especially the basic 4 and 5.
Isaac, he's noted it down. Let's speak to Abdullah and then we'll ask Prof to answer the questions. Abdullah, good morning.
Good morning, my boss.
Yes, boss. You're on air. Let's hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I think if you are doing anything and the foundation is weak, I feel it is much prudent you strengthen the foundation before you build on. I am a trained teacher. I think, David, you know me a little better. And I'm a special needs person. The standard-based curriculum is a good one. Fantastic. It goes with contemporary lines. But look at the way even our rural schools and other schools are suffering with the old curriculum. I think things have to be put in place. The textbooks, David, I know of a school, a whole, is it semester or term they are talking about now? They didn't have a textbook to learn. So if you are a headmaster and you don't force your way through, in some of the deprived schools a little, you are left out. Secondly, somebody was talking about special needs people. Yes, sometimes it's true. Our people, some of the reps in GES and ministries and other places do not help us. But it is because of the way NaCCA and some of the GES and ministries also neglect or don't see our issue as necessary. I'm a special needs student, and the way I suffered before reaching my master's level, only God knows. The system does not help us. And the last thing I will say is something like social studies. I want to ask the teacher, now you are bringing these curriculum and other things. Now you have a lot of teachers who are teaching courses, especially social studies, who are not professional teachers in that field. How can they, move along with this new curriculum?
Thank you, Abdullah. Abdullah, thanks for calling us. Whole package, huh? So Chris was talking about that.
Chris, what goes into the development,
especially when it fits into the job market.
Yeah, I think maybe he joined us later, but as I indicated before we started, we engaged stakeholders. We want to, David, some of the things that the stakeholders expectations are. He said they need students that will have to be taught problem solving, soft skills. Graduates should have the opportunity to opt out for any course at university level. They should have the ability to apply theoretical knowledge to solve practical problems, particularly. Skills acquisition and basic level should be about knowledge acquisition. All these were stakeholders' feedback, and we have factored all this in. Okay. So Chris should start trust that the new curriculum addresses all this.
Really, now, talking about autistic children.
Autistic children, yes.
Then whether the students at the training colleges are being aligned as well.
Two things. The autistic have their own schools, and some of the things that they are doing, even including some of the special needs, the physically challenged. There are some subjects that we do, they don't do. And we've made sure that we have put in place, and we are working with even CSOs who are good in these areas.
But I've seen some of these kids in regular schools.
Yeah.
Autistic
and those in regular schools, like we said, we are talking of differentiated learning. We expect, sometimes the teachers don't even know that this child has even this deficiency.
Are they supposed to be there? Like, do they?
It depends on the level. It depends on the level. But you see, trust me, there are some people you can't take them for granted. But in the regular school, they need to be taken care of, and we have made sure that those that have special needs, the brains and all those things. As I speak with you, I said that we have some workshop going on. There are people who are going to take up that one and transfer the curriculum onto their level for them also to appreciate it. Okay. We are even trialing this in one of the special schools. Okay. And we want to be sure that the training colleges.
Before we talk about the training college, you can tell for yourself that the interest concern is quite high.
Yes.
God alone knows how long it took me to have you in the studios. So the next time you visit Osei, let's have another conversation, part 2.
No problem.
Now let's talk about the training college.
The training college. The good thing with this curriculum now, we did the part 1 and then we flip it for part 2. The part 2 is for the training colleges to also review their curriculum. And as I speak with you now, in the last 5-6 months, they have done. They hope to finish by the end of the year, December, and then the colleges of education will also use it for their new curriculum. So we are doing all this because we want to make sure that by the time we roll out the curriculum, we've got all the necessary things. Let me add the textbooks. Yes, we saw the challenges that happened during the primary, and then now what we are going to do, and there is a ministerial committee that is handling these things. And the last time that we met NAT and NAGRA, they were talking about why don't we ask the subject associations to also write. Yes, the minister thinks that's fantastic. And so as I speak with you, there are some subjects that have written to the minister, and they say they want to write the books and give it to the ministry. We are making sure that by the time we roll out, and trust me, and I want to put this on record, we have engaged with some development partners who are ready to provide the first year for the secondary education. All the textbooks, we are going to support it. All that is needed is for the writers to write. And so the subject association, they've written to the minister and they say they want to write and support the ministry. Fantastic. We are going to do that.
But again, when you talk about the PE that is not going to be examinable, some of them from the onset might have concentrated only on sporting activities. Now this is going to be examinable. If we're teaching our students in our local language, maybe it would help them do better, because then they are familiar with the language. They can write, in the local.
David, which local language?
Okay, so maybe then we need to talk about having a national language, like an academic that language.
But because a child moves from Tamale, he comes to school at KNUS Senior High, and they say teach him with local language. Which language is the Yeah, so but at least we need to have a basic level.
Like I said, let's make time have another conversation.
No problem.
Thanks very much for your time this morning. Thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much, David, and thanks for your listeners. It's quite interesting to hear those comments coming. NaCCA, we are there to make sure that we develop the standards that we need to make sure in the next 10 years. So trust me, David, in the next 5 years, we are going to see the results of this new curriculum, not only in our universities, but even at our workplace, and it is going to be fantastic.
Well, thank you very much. And listen, ISUKU, simply because Betway's cash out just got way better. Now, the enhanced early partial and auto cash out feature lets you cash out your bets early. You cash out portions of your ongoing bets, or even set your bets to cash out automatically. All this to give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. So sign up today at betway.com.gh. Don't forget that terms and conditions apply. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. It's not for persons under the age of 18. Betway, my brother, my sister, get way more. Now, are you on MTN? If you are on MTN, I've got great news for you, because it's a new world of doing business, and your business shouldn't be left out. It's time to get a Momo for Business today to accept payment from over 15 million Momo customers. All you need to do to get your business registration certificate and then your Ghana card, and you're good to go. When you do this, you apply to be an MTN Momo merchant, and then it's a system that the process has been made simple. You just have to dial *5051# and follow the prompts, or apply online at momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh. Now you will receive a reference number, which of course you can use to track your application. So don't get caught waiting. Enjoy secure transactions and convenient transactions for your business with MTN Momo today. Note that the application is free. You do not have to pay any money to anyone for a merchant payment solution. Report any fraudulent charges using the Momo app, available on Play Store and App Store, and you're good to go. Now, listen, we all have different sides of us. We can do more than one thing, and it's beautiful. For example, that shoemaker down the street, for instance, he doubles as a shop attendant at the corner store during the day, and then also plays football with the guys on the park in the evening. And just like him, we are all more than one thing. That's why Absa provides banking solutions for the many sides of you. Now, whatever you need for the different side of you, Absa has the products and services that can help you get it all done. Join Absa to get every kind of banking solution for every kind of you. Visit the nearest Absa branch or visit absa.com.gh for more information. Now, do you have a generator that is faulty, or you want to rent a generator? Well, listen, Anointed Electrical Engineering Services Limited is into the sales of ultra silent generators from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA, and they also undertake, maintain, and repair all kinds of diesel engine generators. They also stock genuine spare parts of all kinds for various generators, and also do generator rentals. Now, you can find them at Asokwa TAT Yard of the Ak Mayanka Road. In Accra, their head office is at number 77 Anointed House, and that is off the Odoko Malam Road. Call them on 0243-480-334 or 0544-340-589. That's how you can reach them. Now let's talk about how you can store water nicely and safely. Now, if you're talking about the preferred color of tank, Syntex has it. Now, if you're talking about the guarantee you will get, well, that guarantee you're looking for, Syntex has it. And again, if you're asking yourself the kind of inner layer you want, maybe you want triple, quadruple, for your information, as many inner layers as you want, Syntex has that one too. So remember, no matter what your water needs are, Syntex has you covered. Syntex tank, you're strong, you're tough. They have over 300 agents nationwide, and to order a tank, all you need to do is to call 0244 335168. You can also visit Syntex on social media at Syntex Ghana or shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, as always, you're strong, you're tough. Now, let's talk about how you can get to Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. Now, African World Airlines is thrilled to celebrate 10 years of customer loyalty on their Lagos route. Now, to join them in celebrating